Hi everybody, I'm Jim Lowe and welcome to my 2024 year-end review. I've compiled all the intros and outros to the videos that I created this year with snippets of what happened in between. Hopefully that'll give you a flavor of the year in High Country Chronicles. If you see something that you that you like, that you didn't catch, I'm putting an index in the description of all the videos, where they are in this video, as well as where to find them on the channel. Hope you enjoy it. It's Saturday, February 10th, and I am on my way to Mount Tamalpias. Planning to do a trail run out there, starting at Muir Beach and going up and around and then through Muir Woods. So I'm done. Just under 4 hours. Pretty much the limit of my fitness right now. I started breaking down at the end of the run. So it's March 3rd, 2024, and I am at the Dipsy Trailhead outside Stinson Beach in Mount Tamalpias State Park. I'm here with Mike from Outdoors with Mike, and we are going to summit Mount Tam today. So on the way up the Matt Davis Trail from Stinson, there's lots of switchbacks, so there's a lot of elevation gain, but it's not so bad because you're switching back and forth. It is pretty slippy though. So we're continuing from Pantoll along the Matt Davis Trail because Mike wants to take the steep way up.
That's right.
So we'll see how this goes.
I don't want to take the steep way down, that's all.
The Bay Bridge, and then we've got the Richmond San Rafael Bridge there. I think that's the way I went up the last time I was here, but we're not doing that today.
I don't care who has the right way.
Okay, so we missed our trail split, so we're going back up. We're supposed to be taking the Fern Creek Trail, so...
It's his fault.
No,
it's my fault. It was my fault. They were about ready to fall off, it turns out. I'm gonna find a better system.
Of course, there are stairs because, it's Tam, it's Marin. Gotta have stairs, or it's not Marin County. Okay, as I was filling up on water, it started raining, so put my rain jacket on. I don't have the Outdoor Vitals on yet. I will put that on once we get to the top. Just had a guy come by, tell us it is cold at the top, so gonna need all the insulation we have. Rain was not forecasted for this time of day. But as you can see, it's pretty dark and dreary up here. Now there's two, there are two peaks here. There's an east peak, I think, and a west peak. And here we are. Tam lookout, and there is nothing to see. Okay, so here we are at the top. It was 4 hours, 45 minutes with a 20-minute stop at Pantoll.
I wonder if I should talk. I remember the splittable way. Take the
Infamous ladder.
That is awesome. This is a really great trail.
Here's the 7-mile Dipsy marker. So 7 miles from here to Mill Valley. We are officially back at the cars. Had a fun time. A little bit colder than we had planned for, but everything went well. Hi, it's April 27th, 2024. I'm Jim Lowe, and welcome to High Country Chronicles Knives and Gear. This, I guess, is the first official fishing trip of the year. I am currently in Yosemite National Park, which is typically where I spend my opening days. I'm going to fish the beadhead hare's ear and a small size 20 hare's ear. I'm fishing 5X, mainly because that's what I have. Ideally, I'd fish the size 20 on 6X, but I don't have that. I'm also fishing a 7.5 foot 4-weight that I patterned off of a Payne 100 with my Hardy featherweight reel and a 4-weight GPX line. So I am wearing my waders today, and you can see why. It's pretty marshy. It can be hard to actually know where the stream is and where the marsh is. Yep, we got into a fish. Can I land this fish without losing him? I don't think that is... Okay, well, you can see it's a nice brown. There you go. That's why I don't pass up this little spot. Now, what I do remember for sure about fishing these two creeks is that fish population wasn't great. So, not that many fish showed. I didn't see many fish. I didn't catch many fish. Then why come back, you might be wondering. Well, wanted to do something different. Haven't been out here in a while, and wanted to see how it had changed, how it stayed the same, that sort of stuff. Finally a clean hookup and a tiny fish. I think the best way to fish this might be from the other side. So come around to the other side, and another brown trout. Back at the car. That was a blast. It's May 25th, 2024. Day one of our annual Mammoth Lakes trip. Roger and I have come up to a big fish lake outside of Mammoth, California. Roger has headed up to the lake. I'm gonna fish the creek. Hopefully we'll get into some big fish today. It was a 3-hour hike in here with a little glissading, quite a bit of snow to navigate, but not too bad. And how's it going over here?
A little off color.
A little off color. A little chute to navigate.
Oh, over there. Anything?
What's that now? So this time I've got on a beadhead gold ribs hair's and a thread midge underneath. Well, I think it's time to call it. It may not seem like we fished much of the lake, and frankly we didn't, but you know, based on the beta we got from the two guys that had been up here since 8 in the morning, and the fact that they've been fishing it for a couple days, that combined with our combined knowledge of the lake and how it fishes this time of year, we just didn't really see much point in circumventing the entire lake. This time of year there are certain areas that tend to produce, and so we checked those places out, and they're not producing. So yeah, maybe if we get down quickly enough, we'll be able to head over to Hot Creek and fish a couple hours on the ranch. The trip down is going to be an adventure. So back at Hot Creek Ranch, great day of fishing. Even though we didn't catch anything, it's always a fun trek up there. It's about 14 miles round trip and about 6 hours of hiking in total. So good way to get in shape for the upcoming season. May 26, 2024, and Roger and I are headed up to Parker Lake. Parker's a lake that's known for its brook trout and large brown trout. It used to be one of those places that was sort of a secret back in the day, but not a secret anymore. And it's pretty crowded today with hikers and fishers. Got some rising fish there. We've arrived at the lake. Cinto put it at 59 minutes. He's right there. Which way did he go? I can't see him. I don't know where he went. Oh, but there's one right there. I don't have much. Here he comes. And survey says yes. Ah! Thought I waited long enough. I guess not. Now what I really need is a shorter rod under these trees. Oh, rejected. Why? Is he gonna come back around? Yes, he is. Took it. Wait, there we go. Oh, rejected. Why? Is he gonna come back around? Yes, he is. Took it. Wait, there we go. That's a nice sized brownie. That's better than nice. I'll let that go down a little bit in case there's a fish down here. And then I'm going to shoot it up, get a whole bunch of line in front of me, and then wave it back and forth, pause, and then fire it up. Wave it back and forth, pause, fire it up. And get more line out until I can get pretty decent distance. There we go. Throw a mend in and hope that does the trick. Nope. Yes? Ah, I was on a fish. Almost back at the car, and my, what a traffic jam. Lots of folks trying to find a place to park up here. Back at the car. It was a really beautiful day. We had a great time out there. Not a lot of fast action, but it was nice to catch that one fish. It was fun fishing the creek. I really need to get back here and fish the creek proper. It was a beautiful day. John, if you're still watching this, it was nice to meet you. So it's Monday, May 27th, day 3 of the Mammoth trip. And Roger and I are fishing the upper section of Hot Creek Ranch. Today it's nymphing allowed unless the fish are actively feeding. And the only way to figure out if the fish are actively feeding is to sit and watch. I'm going to go up a little bit farther. Okay, so while I've been sitting here, I had a few fish rise right in this little riffle here. I've got on a CDC midge. It's about a size 20, and then I've got my parachute caddis cripple. So we will see what happens. And the rises have been right in the middle here. So there we go. Aha. Oh well. Huh, I guess they wanted a little action there. Oh, that was the fish. There we go. Oh, that was the fish. There we go. And he picked up my my cripple caddis. There we go. It's a nice rainbow. Okay, just as I was considering moving, a nice brown came up right in front of me. There we go. But that's not him. That's not him. It's in the same place, but not the same fish. Nettles, armful of nettles. Teeny brown. It's a nice little brown. Maybe 10 inches, I guess. Okay. Okay, picked up a small fish hanging out on the bank. Come on, chill out. Chill out, little brownie. It's a nice little brownie. Okay, and it is now 12:18. I've got 10 minutes to get back to the car. So time to head back to the car. I was hoping I'd be able to fish my way back, but I tangled my flies pretty badly. Too badly to untangle in the 5 minutes that I have left to get back to the cabin. It's July 2nd, 2024, and I am in Casa de Rafor. I've just pulled up to the Kennedy Meadows Pack Station Trailhead parking lot, and it's about 8 o'clock. And fortunately, I am sufficiently tired to just crash here and get up early tomorrow and head into the Emigrant. Originally I planned an 8-day trip, but my air conditioning and a tree in my backyard had other ideas. So spent the last couple days fixing my AC and attending to some of the trees in my yard, and now I'm on the trail. I've got about 4 or 5 days that I can do, and I'm not quite sure what it's gonna be. Got my first view of Relief Reservoir. Mosquito Pass. Okay, this is where I want to start. I can see some tiny fish down in there. And I want to fish this up this way. I'll probably start with the dry fly and try to sight fish. Okay, he's going for it. There are 2 of them. Nope. Dude. Ah, he rejected it. Actually, it's just the one, but he's got a huge shadow. So, a rainbow came in as I was drifting my fly, and you know, he just subtly picked it up. Okay, let's see if I can get him to shore. Okay, so I'm not going to get skunked. That's nice. Took the calabatus. Oh, now there's a couple more that are coming in. How interesting. That's a nice fish. That is a nice fish. That's a great fish. So my spot is flashing red. I don't know what that means. I thought it meant the batteries. I fixed the batteries earlier in the year and tested it, and it seemed to work fine, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to be communicating. If I can't send Vita an okay message tonight, she's gonna be freaking out, and I'm gonna have to turn around tomorrow and go home. Yeah, I've got extra batteries in my pack, so I'll see if that's the problem, but that's disappointing. Fishing today was slower than I expected, a lot slower. I was pretty happy to see that rainbow. You know, over the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, it seems like the brook trout are starting to take over. There were at least 2 brook trout in that run that I was fishing. So I'm, you know, pleasantly surprised that I caught a rainbow. The rainbows probably spawned sometime last month, and they're easy pickings for the brook trout. I'm hoping that the rainbows continue to successfully spawn, and that the brook trout don't overtake this lake. You know, the brookies that I've been catching here over the last several years, they've been good size, but you know, I mean, that's only going to last for so long, and you know, if they end up overpopulating the lake, then all you're going to be catching are stunted brookies. Well, I guess this is the end of day 1. It was a hot one. Didn't get skunked.
So overall, pretty good day.
Good morning. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome to day 2. I am on the back side of my camp, deciding to have breakfast here. I'm abandoning my traditional breakfast rock for someplace that I think might have fewer mosquitoes. I'm not quite sure. The breeze hasn't come up yet, so the breakfast rock is not going to be very advantageous. And so I figured I'd come out here. I've got my thermocell underneath me. And again, you know, the thermocell works pretty well. It takes a little while to get going, but once it gets going, it does a pretty good job of creating like this invisible shield around you. As you can see, there's still a couple that are floating around. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do today. I had a really bizarre night. It was like, depending on how I was sleeping, whether I was on my right side, my left side, or my back, I had these different dreams. But I woke up in the middle of the night last night with the feeling that, that I'm not supposed to be here. And that theme is just sort of keeps persisting. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. On the one hand, there've been a bunch of things that have kept me from coming out and doing the trip that I had planned to do. Maybe it was all a coincidence, or just maybe there's a reason for it. And I keep thinking about, those people that feel like they shouldn't be getting on an airplane, and then, they decide not to get on the airplane at the last minute, and the airplane crashes. I don't typically have these kind of, nagging, like, maybe this isn't what you should be doing. Especially not out in the backcountry. And, what could happen out here? I guess fire's okay, but there's, different ways of getting out of here. The fire wouldn't spread that fast. Maybe emergency at home, I guess. The aircon wasn't working. The tree limb came down. I don't know. I do not know. So I don't know what I'm going to do. What I do know is I am going to go fish, and I'm going to fish from like 7 to 10, and then I'll come back and I'll break camp, and I guess I'll make a decision then. Maybe fishing will help clear my head. Maybe this feeling will go away if I leave camp at around 11 o'clock, more like 11:30. That should put me back at the car, I guess, about 9 or 10. Which is fine. I've hiked back into Kennedy Meadows that late before, so that's not so much of an issue. I don't know. There is no breeze, which is both good and bad. Bad because it doesn't keep the mosquitoes at bay, and in order for me to see fish, I have to raise my net. So. Now I'm seeing rises already. Okay, the fish are definitely here. I'm just not getting I don't have a good vantage point. Like, I know there's a fish there, I can see the movement. There's a fish. There we go. Aha! You've got to be kidding me. Okay, that fish is really spooky. There's a couple other fish over here. Got him. Got him. Not as big as the first one. Okay, let me get him on the reel. Very nice fish. There we go. Nice fish. There we go. So that was a lot of fun, you know. I was a bit frustrated early on by my poor casting and presentation on the flats, but those last couple fish definitely made up for it. So I'm really happy with that last fish, and yeah, I think I'm gonna head back. You know, I feel like I should be home for some reason, so I'm gonna head home. I'm back at the car. I've changed clothes. I've stretched. Pretty much ready to go. Cinto puts it at 15.5 miles, 7 hours, 40 minutes, with 3,600 feet of climbing. Yeah, not quite the trip that I thought it was going to be when I left the house on Tuesday. I really did expect to be out for 4 or 5 days, but you know, I'm really happy with it. I had a good time at Emigrant. You know, and Emigrant was my primary destination. I caught fish there, had fun. The weather was amazing. I'm sure this whole week has probably been amazing, which kind of surprised me with all the heat. You know, I would have expected thunderstorms, but you know, not a cloud in the sky the entire time. Yeah, what else can I say about it? Yeah, I don't know how much. There's nothing really that I can add. It was a fun trip. I'm not disappointed in the slightest. I mean, Emigrant was my primary destination, and the other lakes, you know, they were nice to have. I mean, I'm going to get to them eventually. I've been to Huckleberry. I haven't been to the others, so I'm going to have to, you know, work that in some way. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I had a blast at Emigrant. Emigrant is always fun. I'm glad I caught fish. I'm glad I caught some decent fish. I'm glad to see that the rainbows are there in numbers. Hi, it's August 30, 2024, and Roger and I are again at Cottonwood Pass. So we're hoping to do 8 days from Cottonwood Pass to Shepherd Pass, fishing 3 or more lakes in between. So 2 hours in and I am just dying. I just have no energy today for some reason. Cottonwood Pass. So we are here. Strava says 6 hours, 50 minutes, 10 miles, and 2,098 feet of climbing. Not that much. Pretty slow. Currently we're at an altitude of 10,817. So Roger's already hit the water. I am trying to send a spot signal. I'm having trouble with this spot again. I definitely have to get a new one. The second time where I've picked it up and the batteries are dead for no apparent reason. 6 o'clock and I'm heading down to the lake. Roger's already there. I've got with me a 9'5" weight that I patterned after a Sage LL with a double tapered line. I've also got a net with me, so I think that'll be a first for the channel. So Roger's telling me that I should join him down there. So that's what I'm going to do. So the only active fish seem to be hitting the surface every once in a while. It's kind of boring fishing, you know, toss it out and just leave it there, leave and heave, or heave and leave. No. Did he tie me up? I think he tied me up on a stick. First netted golden on the channel. Okay, tiny little guy, but that'll do. We're back at camp. Roger managed to catch a 9-inch fish, which is pretty cool. A bunch of smoke has moved in, as you can see. So it's about 10 after 9, and I'm finally getting some sleep. I'm wearing a buff tonight because of the smoke. Roger's also prepared. He's got this N95 mask in case it gets really bad. Some of the backpackers here are a little concerned about the fire and whether we'll have to evacuate, but I guess we'll see in the morning. So it's Saturday, August 31st. This is day 2 of our trek through golden trout country. I have climbed up on a high bluff just to get some perspective on where the fire might be. Yesterday we could clearly see the fire coming in. We could see it. We could see the smoke billowing up from the forest floor. When we got here, you know, the air was pretty clean. Winds shifted last night, and the smoke came in. Several of the campers around us were a bit concerned, and so we decided to spend the night anyway because we didn't think we were in too much jeopardy. We're heading back down to the lake. We're gonna fish for like 20 minutes, I guess, and then head to the next destination. Nope. There. Oh, rejected? Nope, there we go. Oh, I got my net. I should have used my net. Old habits die hard. One right there. Oh, he's turned towards me? Yeah, no. Too far? Nope. He sees it. There we go. Oh, and now I'm in the weeds. A strong little fish. Oh, I got a net. Almost forgot. Yeah, it's much better. And we are ready to hit the trail. The next destination is somewhere between 10 and 13 miles. That's a pretty big spread there. I mapped it out at home at 10 miles. Roger thinks it's 13. 13 actually makes more sense because if I remember when we hiked out that full day, it was like 23 miles when we hiked out. So
27.
Was it 27?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we got a long way to go today. (14,405 feet). Mount Whitney is the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States. Finally at the lake. We were tired and in a hurry and pretty much pitched our tents just anywhere. Wow, what a day. Final tally was 11 hours, 16 miles, 3,500 feet of climbing. We're currently at 10,006 or 700 feet. Yeah, so this will be home for the next 3 nights.
Enjoy peace wherever you find it, with dusty water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere. I see solitude and rest, take the stress off my chest. Words are empty when majestic is everywhere. The hills and the lakes are calling men.
It's September 1st, 2024. Dad, if you're watching this, happy birthday. We are on day 3 of our journey into California's golden trout country. If you haven't seen days 1 and 2, please go back and give those a watch so you have a better understanding of where we are and how we got here. It's a fishing day. We're on an infamous golden trout lake looking for large golden trout. We seem to be 20 seconds down on a slow retrieve, really slow retrieve. Okay, where's the stupid, that's a better fish. Where's the net? Nope, stay away from that rock. That's the same rock. The last one got me off one. Okay, let's see. Net, do your job. There we go. Whew. Using a net makes me so nervous. Some nice fish. There we go. There we go. 14, maybe 15 inches. Hard to say. It's probably 14. I guess it might go 15. Well, I just did something I don't typically do. And that is I took a fall. Trying to assess everything. I think I'm okay. Jammed up my toe. Landed on my hip. I think I'm okay. Could be adrenaline talking. Yeah, moving all right. It's about 6:30 and smoke from the California wildfires has moved in. Ranger Glenn had warned us that this basin gets pretty smoky. I'm just happy that it waited until late afternoon for it to happen. Well, that was quite the day. It started out really slow. And then picked up in the afternoon, and I figured out what pattern would work for me and started picking up fish. So I'm really happy for that. Took that fall, which is unusual for me. I usually don't fall, and I think it has something to do with my eyes changing and this prescription not being the best for me anymore. It's kind of hard to, my depth perception in these glasses is a little off. So yeah, I think that's what caused the fall. I seem to be okay. We'll see, when I wake up tomorrow morning, and we'll see if I have any aches and pains or bruises or anything like that. I think I'm going to end today's video on that. Today is day 4 of our journey through California golden trout country. Today we were going to venture to the upper lake, but as you can see behind me, some clouds have moved in, and it's only like 7:30 in the morning. So we're not quite sure what's going to happen with those clouds. They're a little dark for 7:30 in the morning, so it's making us think that, you know, we might have a little weather. Instead, we're just going to continue to fish this lake. We're going to fish the far side this time. We didn't get to the far side yesterday. Basically, to fish the far side, you've got to go up to the bluff that's behind my right shoulder. And so we'll do that today, and hopefully we'll get in some nice fish. It is colder today, partially because of the clouds, partially because of the wind. When the sun comes out, it's nice and toasty. With these clouds overhead, it's keeping it cold. So I'm a little sore this morning from that fall I took yesterday, but everything checks out. I've got a bruise on my thigh, my shoulder's a little sore, got a nice raspberry on my hip, but that's about it. So I'm lucky I'm not 10 years older. I probably would have broken a hip if I were, but yeah, I think I'm good to go for the rest of the trip. So I hooked into a fish here, but my fly was so deep that I didn't get a good hook set. And yeah, it was strange. It didn't feel like a strike at first, and so, you know, I set the hook, and then I saw the flash, and by the time I tried to get on it, it was gone. Finally into a fish. Jeez. I can get down here and land it. Not bad. Not a good fish at all. Okay, I got another fish on, and another one, 30 seconds, and I'm catching them like right at this drop here. Oh man, it's a fat fish. That might be the best fish the whole trip. Yeah, what is that? That's 17 inches, maybe? There we go. Ooh, this might be a big one. Oh, geez Louise. Better get this on the reel. Not a bad fish. Okay, go. That's a beautiful fish. Said too many fish for you. The wind has suddenly just picked up to like gale force. It's ridiculous. I can't even get my cast out. I've come out here behind this little island, and maybe the water's a little more protected. I don't know. Haven't seen a single fish since lunchtime. I don't know how Roger's doing over there, although I don't see him anymore, so he must have moved. Finally into a fish. That's a good fish. Let's see if there are any more where that came from. And if not, I'll say I'll make 6 casts. And if not, then I'm going back to the other side. There we go. Well, that was a pretty good day of fishing. You know, it's always nice when you can come to a lake and you can find a pattern that you can fish with confidence. You know, this might not have been the best pattern for this lake. You know, somebody could have come and fished a a black woolly bugger, right, and picked up 22-inch fish. But you know, it's consistent enough to have fun and pick up some good fish. Well, I guess this is the end of day 4. Tomorrow we pack up and leave. We're going to hit the PCT again, and then head to another off-trail location. So, pretty good day overall, as I said. That wind was ridiculous. It was rough, but you know, I lucked into a few places where I was able to catch fish. Roger picked up some fish, but it sounded like he had to really work for them, and he had a tough day. Tomorrow it's probably gonna be a six or 7 hour hike to the next destination. Some of it's off trail, and off trail is always slower than on trail. So we'll see. This is a lake that neither one of us has ever been to. We have high expectations, so we'll see how it goes. I am Jim Lowe, and welcome to day 5 of our journey into California's golden trout country. It's September 3rd, 2024. Today we're going to be heading back to the PCT, and it's probably going to be a 5-hour trek to another off-trail lake. One last look at the lake. I suspect this will probably be my last time coming here. Still bushwhacking our way up. Where is it? It's almost 3 o'clock. It's a nice little canyon right there. Yeah, duck, exactly. That's pretty amazing. We've got to get up this, and then we're only about halfway from where we turned off. There's the outlets on this side. There's an inlet.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind. Peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere. I seek solitude and rest. Take the stress off my chest. Words are empty when majestic is everywhere.
That is so weird. I lost another fish. I don't know what's going on. Looks like Roger might be landing one. Okay, I got a small one finally. Actually, it struck right as I was about to recast. Let's see if I can get this one in. It's not bad. It's probably 12 inches. Roger's bending down again. Probably got another fish. Okay, so Roger and I are having a conversation, and I hooked a fish. The first 5 fish that I hooked, they were all on the scud, and so I put on the Gold Ribs Hare's Ear and the Calabatus Nymph to see whether or not they would take it. And yes, a smaller fish looks like it took the Calabatus. If I can get him in. Where's that stupid net? I'm not going to bother pulling this one out. I'm just going to take the fly out, put the net back in the water.
This is the end of day 5. Pretty epic day. Not only in the country that we traveled, but we got to see a lot of cool things. Got to check out the ranger cabin. Made it to the ranger. That was kind of cool. Saw some beautiful country today. Chicken. Oh yeah, we did see the chickens, didn't we? Yeah, we got to see in total probably 9 Sierra chickens. So that was kind of cool. That last 4 hours over cross country was pretty gnarly. We're gonna have to take that into account on the way back in terms of our planning. We've got one night here, so tomorrow we're probably gonna fish pretty hard. But I need to. I'm hoping tomorrow that it warms up enough so I can do some laundry and bathe a little bit, because I'm starting to smell pretty bad. So hopefully I can take some time out of the fishing tomorrow and not freeze and do that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We're on top of this really cool high plateau with Mount Whitney, just to our right. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can check out the stars later tonight.
This High Country Chronicle is day 6 in our journey through the California golden trout country. Today is a fishing day. We've spent the night on this high country lake close to Mount Whitney. It's supposed to have large golden trout. So far, the beta that we've been given on the lake is a little different than what we've experienced. So we came up here expecting there to be fewer fish than where we were earlier in the trip, but on average larger. And the reality is that the numbers seem to be pretty much the same, but the average size seems to be smaller. So this seems to be one of those places that has a decent fish population, maybe a decent amount of very large fish. Well, we'll find out. Okay, I finally hooked into a fish. Not a bad fish. 13 inches maybe. Not bad. Another 12-inch fish, I guess. Maybe 13. So I came out here and joined Roger on his weed bed. I think I went like 2 for 10 fish here, just ridiculous number of fish that I'm missing. And I'm just casting the fish that I see that are cruising the bank. Most of them are in the 12-inch range. He's a hot fish. I don't think he's very big though. Okay. Not a very big fish, but a nice one nonetheless. Roger's into a fish on his little Phillipson rod. It's not a bad fish.
15, 12.
Chunky. Okay, that's bigger than I thought it was. Well, thus ends day 6. It was a great day of fishing. The lake didn't live up to our expectations. We caught plenty of fish. We caught plenty of good-sized goldens. Just not the 22-inch fish that we thought might be in here. Now there might be a better time of year to come and pick up those fish, maybe at the end of the season when they're super hungry, or early in the season when they're close to spawning. But you know, for our experience today, we just didn't see them. So yeah, overall though, we fished it hard. We had a good day. We had lots of fun, and tomorrow's another adventure. We are on day 7 of an 8-day journey through the California trout country. We're making our way out today. So we've got 2 days to get out. We're going to be going out over Shepherd Pass. Not quite sure tonight where we're going to be spending the night. It's really going to depend on how much energy we have and how long the trek is. Okay, it's about 10 after 8 and we're off. It's going to be at least 3 hours off trail to the PCT. It took us 4 hours to get in, but it's downhill. And hopefully now we know where we're going. So after that, I don't know, maybe another 3 to 5 hours to get close enough to Shepherd to spend the night. Okay, gradually going across the basin, looking for water. We did find 2 dry creek beds, and ran into somebody who said that there was water up ahead, so we'll see. So there's the pass, and it's 2 o'clock. We're within eyesight of it. That's a pretty good sign. Shepherd Pass. Here's the water. Some small, nice little pools. Should be enough for us to fill up at. We filled up with water and we should be good until camp. So how crazy is that? There are fish in this creek. Roger and I have arrived here early enough to spend the night at what we consider a very special lake. Fish and Game, or now Fish and Wildlife, planted these lakes with Colorado cuts, and it's a lot of fun to be able to come here and catch that species of fish. Whoa. was right in front of him. That's a good fish. That'll probably go 10 inches. Here's the one that I've been waiting for. This is the one that I wanted. That is a beautiful fish. It's probably like 11 or 12 inches. Looks like a nice fish. Now that may just be the fish that I caught. Let's see. Let's throw this out there and see. Oh yeah, good fish. Nice, nice, nice fish. Glad I was able to get that one. Yeah, look at that fish. That is a nice Colorado cutthroat.
So I guess that's the end of day 7. I don't know what to say. We made good time getting back to the main trail. Had a pleasant time after that first pitch on the PCT down to Tyndall, and then actually the climb from Tyndall to Shepherd was pretty nice as well. Met a lot of good folks today. That was pleasant, and you know, then we took that near disastrous climb down into the Colorado Cut Basin. I'd forgotten how bad it was, and you know, it's funny because Roger had said earlier that the theme of this trip was falling, because we'd both fallen so much. I mean, I fell twice today coming down from a lake, and yeah, and then the way that, you know, I tried to lower my backpack safely, but didn't take into account the pitch and the fact that it would roll. So fortunately it didn't roll any further than it did. Nothing was damaged that I can see. Probably would have been better to throw it on that smaller ledge, but I hadn't really thought about that. Or, you know, the first time we came here, I basically, you know, Roger and I were closer together when we were hiking, I think. And I think what we ended up doing was I went down first, and then, you know, he lowered the packs to me. But that was 10 years ago. And, frankly, on that slope, I wasn't confident that I would be able to, wasn't confident that I was going to be able to have him lower the backpacks the way that we did before. But I did have the paracord, so if I had waited for him and we had lowered both backpacks down with the paracord like we did his, then everything would have been okay. I mean, everything was okay anyway, because nothing was damaged, and it's a lesson learned, you know. Sometimes I need to think through the situations a little bit better than I did. And anyway, we got in, I don't know, 30 minutes of fishing, maybe. Fishing was fairly fast and furious. Got a picture of a really nice Colorado cut, which I'm really happy about. And yeah, so tomorrow it's back to the cars. We're gonna climb out of here, hopefully without incident. We'll probably fish for like an hour first, and then make the climb out. My water filter is absolutely not working anymore. You know, it's been slowly getting worse and worse every day of the trip. Yesterday it was bad, but I was able to get it to start pumping. And today I just couldn't get it to pump anything. And not sure what it is. It's probably something simple like a really old O-ring. But you know, it's a good time for me to start looking at other options. I mean, that was, you know, 15-year-old technology, and I'm sure there's better stuff out there now.
September 6th, 2024, the last day of our 8 days in golden trout country, except today we're in sort of the adopted range of the Colorado cutthroat. It's our last day, and so we are leaving today. We started our trek out yesterday, and we decided to spend the night on a lake that's known for Colorado cuts. So we caught some cuts last night. Gonna take maybe 30 minutes and just take a look and see what's going on with the lake this morning. And then we have at least a 2-hour climb out of here. When I say 2-hour climb out of here, this is what I'm talking about. We've got to climb up and out of this morning. I figured I'd come in here today, see if there are any cruising fish. Try to throw a dry fly at them. It's a nice Colorado cut for day 8. That looks like it might be a bigger fish right there in the inlet. It's a nice representation of the Colorado cut. It's tempting to stay longer, and too bad we can't. We're going to try to climb to the waterfall, and then it looks like there's a little 45-degree shelf that we can take up, and that'll avoid us from having to go back this way. Alrighty. We're gonna have to crawl through this. That stuff is slippy. Starting our descent down Shepherd Pass. It's a cool little campground. We're still on the Shepherd Pass Trail. There seem to be lots of campsites in this area. It's, I don't know where it is on the map or what it's called. So we are officially at the trailhead. It's got notices about the Sierra Bighorn, which we did not see. Just Shepherd Pass down here. And this is where we are. And so that ends day 8. It also ends, a great 8 days in the mountains with a great partner, Roger. This is probably, what is this, the third 8-day trip that we've done in the last 10 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, this is probably the third 8-day trip that we've done in the last 10 years. It was a humbling experience. I don't know, I did not prepare properly for this trip. I guess I just had other things going on, other things on my mind. And a little bit of hubris because of my running fitness right now. I had 2 bad days out of 8. It's kind of like a stage race where, you go day after day, you kind of want to have good days. And That first day was a bad day, which I don't think I'd felt that bad since that last day that we came out of Bear Creek. That was bad. So, and then today, the first day going over Cottonwood Pass, no issues there. You have a bad day, you have a bad day. There's nothing, you know, it's pretty benign. But this morning, you know, having a bad day and feeling weak trying to come out of that basin, you know, that could have been a real problem. I also learned a lot, you know, about my actual hiking in the mountains. You know, typically I used to fuel like I did for running, once every hour. But you know, some of the last couple days, I kind of addressed them, or I kind of approached them as, you know, just sort of my, you know, how I would if I was exercising. So typically when I'm backpacking, I'll have breakfast, we'll go do whatever hike we need to do, and blah, we're done. When I exercise, I always do that fasted. So the last 3 or 4 days, I did everything fasted, and actually felt great. And then instead of fueling every 60 minutes, I was fueling every 75 or every 90. Hey folks, it's geez, what is it, September 13th, Friday the 13th, and I am outside of Mammoth Lakes. You read that title right. I am doing Mount Whitney. Now, those that know me, subscribers, know that I hike and backpack to fish, and I'm not a peak bagger, but when a friend's got a permit to summit Whitney, you know, you don't refuse. So, you know, I'm treating it like any other hike. Those guys came out like 3 or 4 days ago, you know, to get some proper acclimatization. I did not have that luxury. So we're going in just after midnight tonight, and I am driving up same day. That's not something that I would recommend. You know, Mount Whitney is 14,505 feet.
Tripod, so I can just stick it.
Okay, here we are. We're all meeting. I guess there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us. 11. If I count myself.
You want me to grab it right now? Or just wait?
Grab it now.
Some folks have done this before. Some folks haven't.
Is that flash?
Mount Whitney Trail. So we're an hour in and we're taking a break. We've gone about 1,000 feet, 1.75 miles in that first hour. I've separated myself a bit from the others, mainly just to keep my own pace. You know, I mean, if you've ever hiked with me, I'm a slow hiker. Hopefully I'm going the right way. I think I'm going to be good up to about 10,000 feet, and then I'm going to slow down. So they'll catch up with me. I've never been this high, so I'm feeling pretty good though. A lot better than I normally would at sort of 9.5. Entering the Whitney Zone. Special permit required for all hikers. Probably at about 12,700 feet right now, which would officially make this the highest I've ever been. Entering Sequoia National Park, Trail Crest, and John Muir Trail, pets and firearms prohibited. Okay, so from here I know there's a right-hand turn that I need to take, so I need to be on the lookout for that. Cold and breezy over here, and I guess we're going down to go up. Folks are dumping their gear and their packs and stuff. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm gonna carry mine up. Yeah, don't trip and don't drop your phone. Almost an hour, still not near the top. So I made it roughly, I think it was 8 hours, 40 minutes. You can't even see the sketchiness from here. I mean, that whole far bluff is just sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. Okay, back up over the pass. Okay, it's all downhill from here. Wow, look at those switchbacks. I had no idea this was here this morning. Gee, what an amazing day. I don't think I could have picked a better day to summit Mount Whitney.
It's Friday, September 20th, and I am currently in Mammoth Lakes getting ready for the Mammoth Trail Fest. This will be like the third straight week that I've been in the Eastern Sierra. I unfortunately have not retained any of the acclimation that I felt last week at Whitney. I'm breathing hard up here and I'm feeling uncomfortable. Okay, so pretty typical. What I expect to happen is everybody's gonna go out fast-ish. I'm gonna hang back, get dropped on the first hill, and then just do my thing.
Okay, we're coming down on Twin Lakes. 8:48. Last year I was there at 9 o'clock, so presumably on the same pace. Okay, leaving Horseshoe Meadow at 11:41, and hopefully it only takes 2 hours to get up to the summit. You can see we came that way and then went back through that forest, went up over that bluff. You can see the trail on the left hand side, came down all the way around, came over to Horseshoe, and then up and over like that. So I'm at the 6 hour mark. Pretty sure last year that actually put me at the summit. That's where we're going. Gotta go up and around this. Got an hour to do it. 211. Mammoth Mountain, 11,053 feet. Hi, thank you. Thank you. Okay, through the summit aid station, 217. Gonna down some Pop-Tarts and just chill on this hill on the way down. Almost 28 miles. If Sunto is accurate, then the aid station should be at about 1.5 miles. I'm really struggling right now. That was so hard. I should be in better shape than I was last year. Maybe I'm just overtrained, I don't know. So I am back in the room. 11 hours, 17 minutes, 45 seconds. I finished at 6:47 p.m. And yeah, that was a lot harder than I was expecting. I've been
I've been training for a race that's next week, a longer race that's next week. And so I've been putting in, 30 and 40 mile runs. And I've been spending a lot of time this month at altitude. And so I thought I'd be a lot stronger than I was. I told my brother earlier in the year that I'm either going to be flying in September or I'm going to be dying. And, when I went up Whitney, I felt pretty good. But today, yeah, and I just, 2 hours into the race, I just felt like I'd been running for like 6. It was ridiculous. I think it's October 14th, 2024, and I'm with Rod from Rod Outdoors, and we're headed up to Kennedy Lake. Just came to the revelation that I left my sleeping pad at home, so not quite sure what I'm gonna do for bedding when I get up to Kennedy. It's about 40 degrees right now. We are expecting it to drop well into the 30s tonight. Okay, we took about a 20-minute lunch break, and now we're heading to the campsite. Trail goes out that way, but we're gonna head over towards the creek. There's another trail by the creek that should take us to the campsite. The campsite, it's over here. It's up the bluff from the creek. It's on the trail, but there aren't going to be that many people coming. There's a fire pit, decent spot there, and over here, and over there. First night, I'm going to risk sleeping on the ground without a pad, without any boughs or anything like that. So no insulation, and we'll see how it goes. It should get down to like the 30s today. My bag is rated into the 20s. I've got plenty of extra layers. So it's 2 o'clock. I got my tarp up finally. I've got my emergency space blanket, and I've put that down underneath me. I'm not confident of fishing right now. I'm not seeing any fish. And so I'm just gonna go back to camp and revisit this tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. We'll have sun. I'll be able to see fish. So just as I'm going back to camp, got some small fish that have started rising in here. I saw some small fish rising in here, so I just took my nymph, threw it on, and I've actually had a couple good strikes from decent fish. We'll see what happens. Okay, a couple fish over here. Let's see if I can get their attention without spooking them. Got his attention. And nothing. There we go. Okay, sped up my retrieve, and I'm finally into a fish. So, not gonna get skunked tonight. Happy to see that. But yeah, that fish is twice as big as I thought he was. Now, let's see if I can get another. I sped up the retrieve a little bit, but I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, unfortunately. So, faster retrieve. Okay, faster retrieve confirmed. Callibaetis, nicely positioned in its jaws. Looks almost identical to the fish I had before. So finally, I found some fish that I could fish to and found a retrieve that works. There is a fairly large fish right out there, and he keeps hitting the surface pretty hard. I've got a larger Callibaetis nymph on now. There we go. And well, there you go. Something big over there. Oh, is it headed downstream? Maybe it's headed downstream. It just pushed a whole lot of water. Oh, there it is. You see that? Oh my, I don't think I can cast that far. There. That's a decent cast. There we go. Oh! Oh, man. So rod's set up in A-frame, which is kind of cool.
Pretty simple.
That should be fairly warm. I'm in my shelter, and tonight's going to be an experiment, you know. How cold am I going to get without a sleeping pad? I've got plenty of layers, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a silk undershirt, put a polypro shirt on top of that. I'm going to put some silk underwear on. I'm going to put some wool socks on. I'm going to put my down jacket in the bottom of my sleeping bag to keep my feet warm, and I'm going to hope that that'll work. If it doesn't, then you know, I'll put my wool shirt back on, put the polypro shirt on top of it, and I'll put this on as an additional layer. And if that's not working, I'll put on my down jacket, and maybe I'll put my backpack underneath my feet. But yeah, we'll see.
So it's about 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and I'm finally deciding to get out of bed. I've been up for a while, pretty much all night. I didn't get too cold, even though Rod is telling me that it's 27 degrees out right now. I didn't really get too cold until, I don't know, about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's just, the ground is so hard that I was twisting and turning like every hour. I'd get up and I'd have to switch positions. I'd sleep. I think maybe I got like 30 minutes sleep, and then I'd lay there for 30 minutes and switch positions, and then 30 minutes sleep. I'm thinking that's how it went, but yeah, pretty much from 7 to 1 o'clock every hour. I was up, and I think I may have slept between 1 and 3, or 1 and 4 rather, because I got up at 4, having to switch to a new position. I'd been sleeping on my back and on my left side, and I hadn't been able to sleep on my right side at all, or lay on my right side, but I finally forced myself to do it. But anyway, it was at 4 when I got cold, and that I woke up then because I was cold. My shoes are frozen.
Okay, I think that small pile I've got over there, and this, once I get it all cut up, should be enough for anything that we decide to do. So first things first, I'm going to break all the thin pieces into smaller pieces. Maybe we'll have a fire tonight, because that's a lot of wood. This crow makes it easy to cut up stuff that's about this size. I can't really tell, but that could be Rod over there by the beach. The beach is good fishing. Well, I found the fish. Yeah, look at that. Okay, I guess I'm getting brushy and wet. Got one, not huge. And I had to, that looks like a rainbow. What the? No, it's a brown. Okay. It's just the colorations, I guess. Yeah, that's a nice fish. I got him on the Stillwater nymph with no action. Okay, I'm into another one. Oh, this time he took the Calvatus. Oh, that might be a little better fish. Another one all about the same size. I think I'm gonna have to move on to find bigger fish. Another one on the Stillwater nymph. definitely hardy fish. It's a pretty hardy fish. Does that make him turn? No. Another one turned. There we go. That's not the one I wanted, but yep. Oh, we got a double on. Rod's got one and I've got one. Okay, go little guy, go. I'm on the beach, so this is the beach section, and hopefully I'll get in some nice fish here. Instead of casting over the weed bed, because almost certainly during my retrieve I'd snag it, I'm going to come over here to this point and cast across to it. Now the water here is deeper, and I hadn't been letting it drop. I may need to do that here. There we go. Now let's get him out of the weeds. Out of the weeds, come on, out of the weeds. Nice dark fish. So 15-second countdown. Slow twist retrieve, which is kind of hard with the wind. Let's move to a different quadrant. There we go. Ugh. Okay, here's my little tinder bundle. Got my dark timber tavi and my ferro rod. There we go. Woo.
Oh yeah, get in there now.
So that's the end of day 2, and it's a little bit cooler than it was last night. I can already feel it. The fire is dead out. I put in, 12 liters of water, so it should be pretty well out. It is a little bit colder than it was yesterday. I'm not too concerned about that. It's one of those embrace the suck moments. I'm not worried about getting cold. I've got plenty of layers. I've got layers I haven't even tapped into. But I do have sore spots from last night. So I'm not sure how I'm going to manage this second night, but I got to manage it. And tomorrow afternoon when I get home, it'll be a memory. So, it's just one of those things you got to do sometimes when you're backpacking. It's 8:15, and I guess, it's Wednesday. Kind of weird not working. The night wasn't so bad. It was cold last night. I think it's the first time that I've ever completely zipped up my my sleeping bag, and when I mean completely, I mean up to the very top, hood on, looking like a mummy. But that said, I still haven't broken into my extra gear. I mean, I've got this down jacket, which I haven't needed to wear yet, and I was actually fairly comfortable last night, and by that I mean I was more comfortable than I was the night before. Even though I've got the hot spots on my back and my hip, I was able to use my rain jacket and my extra clothes to provide support to my torso as kind of a mini pad, and that took the pressure off of the hot spots, and it made it actually not so bad. In the last couple hours, I mean, it's 8:15. I never sleep this late, but the last couple hours I got really comfortable. So yeah, I took a couple extra hours of sleep there, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. We've got 2 huge fish in this pool below us. Look at that. Those are nice fish, and I put my my rod and my kit away.
Back at the car, Sunto put it at 3 hours and 13 minutes, 7.31 miles. I came into this trip pretty ill prepared. You know, I just wasn't into getting all of my gear together before the trip. And I learned a few lessons. Learned how to keep myself comfortable on hard ground. Learned that at this time of year that the bog around the lake isn't any drier than it is any other time of the year. I really thought being later in the season, it may be less boggy, but you know, I guess those springs run pretty true. Learned that this time of year you got lots of big fish in that creek, which, you know, most of the other times that I come, there aren't really any fish in the creek. So this is the first time I've seen a substantial number of fish and a substantial number of fishable sized fish. So that was cool. Yeah, so ended up being a great 3 days. Well, that concludes the year-end review. If you've watched to this point, as always, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate everybody watching and all the interaction that I get during the year, and hopefully everybody has a wonderful 2025.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind, find peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere.